And now, in formation and ready to come to the stage, our last storyteller of the evening, Eric Call. Come to the stage.
I didn't think I was going to get picked either. So it's March of '98, and I am nose to nose with my daughter, Virginia, and we're not talking, but our eyes are locked on each other, and we're both pissed off. And honestly, I'm kind of terrified because this feels like a defining moment for me as a father, and I honestly have absolutely no idea what I'm supposed to do. So I'm really hoping that Virginia takes the initiative and says something, but she doesn't because she's only one and she's not talking yet. And I've got us locked in an airplane bathroom together, and someone's outside banging on the door, so I got to do something. So I start to reason with her. You see, Virginia, you can't kick the seat in front of you because he's trying to take a nap, which frankly is what you should be doing, right? No, you have gas, so you're kind of fussy, right? Right? Well, think about it. If you get gas and get stinky every time, how the hell are you ever going to get into Harvard? So at best, I was a new dad who had a lot to learn. But in reality, I was probably a train wreck waiting to happen. And it was made even more difficult by the fact that my wife and I had just moved out to California with a 1-year-old, and we didn't know a single soul in the entire state, no friends, no family. And after a couple months of sitting in that house with a 1-year-old and every Barney video ever made, we needed a break. So that's why we're on an airplane that day, because we're on our way to Seattle to visit some college friends of ours and their parents. And by the time we drag ourselves off of that plane, it's probably pretty obvious that we're in need of help. And Dick, the dad, immediately just steps up and takes Virginia and takes control. And I'm blown away over the next 3 days at the lengths that he goes to keep Virginia happy and satisfied so the rest of us can have the weekend that we desperately needed. So, for example, every night that we went out to dinner, Virginia, of course, sat with Dick. And as soon as the food came out, she laid waste to whatever food he had ordered for himself. She suddenly became a connoisseur of salmon, apparently. And he was perfectly content to eat the piece of shit mac and cheese that we had ordered for her. On the next day, we're sitting in the backyard, beautifully manicured, meticulous backyard, and Virginia maniacally picks every single flower that she can rip out of the ground. And before I can do anything, Dick jumps up. And rather than reason with a 1-year-old, he actually goes out and he helps her pick the few remaining flowers that she could not reach, and she was delighted. And I'm starting to get the joke that maybe what being a dad is not just laying down the law all the time. Maybe what you have to do to be a great dad is whatever the fuck it takes. So on the last day of our visit, we're doing a charity walk through downtown Seattle, and of course Dick is pushing Virginia in her stroller because by then she wants nothing to do with anyone else. And we're getting to the finish line, and Dick very quietly and very ceremoniously hands the stroller back to me. And Virginia immediately starts wailing. And rather than take the stroller back, Dick actually takes off. And he starts running for the finish line. And I'm kind of shocked. But then Virginia starts giggling. And then pretty soon we all start giggling because let me tell you, Dick is not an Olympic athlete. And as he gets to the finish line, he throws his arms to the sky, and then he crumples to the pavement. Gone. And by the time we get to him, there's somebody who has come out of the crowd who's given him CPR, and we're horrified, and it seems like forever before an ambulance comes. And I swear, as it drives away, I haven't seen a single sign of life in Dick. And 5 minutes later, we're all in the emergency room, and all too soon, a doctor comes out to talk to us, and he's got a very serious and very tired look on his face, so I have no illusions that he's going to give us good news. And I'm looking at Virginia, and I'm thinking to myself, I have absolutely no idea how to explain death to a 1-year-old who's eating a rubber glove that she just pulled out of the trash. But I don't panic like I did on the plane, because for the first time in my dad life, there's an inkling of a plan rattling around in my thick skull. And it's simply this: what would Dick do? What would Dick do? I have no idea what the right answer is, but in asking that question, I know that we're going to be okay. And that was a long time ago. And both of my daughters will back me up when I say I am far from the perfect dad. But I promise you, that little question, that mental speed bump, what would Dick do, has saved me from being a disaster. So by way of epilogue, I am very proud to share with you that last month, in fact, Virginia did finish her first year at Harvard. And I am even happier to let you know that last week, Dick celebrated his 77th birthday. Thank you.